But the first half was one of the best we've played all year. Third quarter was rough, but the fourth quarter we held strong and got it done, and it was a strong show of character for our team. Cleveland's got a lot of weapons that come at you hard, and it was a bend don't break kind of game for us. So I'm real happy for our guys. First win in the history of the in-season tournament. Significant if you're keeping track of that kind of stuff. And just happy for them. Now we got to get ready for tomorrow.
What did you see change a little in that third quarter, and what did you think of your team's response, especially in the clutch moments of this game?
Well, it's got to be a growth thing for us. It's the human element is everywhere in sport, and so there's always a tendency to let up a little bit when you have a lead like that. We talked in the locker room how they're probably getting ripped in the other locker room. They're going to come out hard. They did. I don't know if they're getting ripped or not, but whatever the case is. And, but we hung in. Our second unit was in there during a tough period of time. They manufactured enough baskets, I think, for us to have a 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And that's big. Leading going into the fourth is a big indicator of probability to win. So, but, we had a lot of guys played extremely well. Myles had a great game. Buddy's shot making in the fourth was huge. And Buddy's really making a great effort defensively. He's studying it. He's playing harder than he's ever played defensively, and he really wants to win. And so, we got a lot of guys that care, and this is an important win for us.
Where do you think Myles Turner was finding his spot so well? It felt like he could kind of get whatever shot he wanted in this game.
Well, he was popping versus their pick and roll coverage, and he was stroking it in the first half, and that was great. Second half it was coming in some different kind of ways. He got one offensive rebound, he popped in another jumper. And teams adjust in games like this. The team behind adjusts. They get more aggressive in certain ways, and then you've got to adjust. And so, forget the point totals and all that. It's really about maintaining an attitude and a posture, and that was the important thing tonight.
In-season tournament atmosphere, what did you think of all that and how it all felt?
Well, our crowd's been great in all the home games. So I didn't, and it's a Friday night, so the building was alive, maybe a little more so than a Monday or a Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But our fans are into it. Our fans like this team, and they're connecting with this team. You can tell they're chanting Buddy's name out there and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Rick, with you guys, I think we're down 4 with about 5 minutes left. What did you see flip the script there? As I think you guys went on a 12-1 run after that.
Well, we got a couple of stops. That helps. We changed a couple things. Lloyd had a couple of good offensive suggestions that got us some pretty good looks. And, it's just that time of the game, it just comes down to guts, And somehow you got to get stops. I mean, Myles made one spectacular block. Mitchell was making tough shots the whole game. He finally missed a tough one. Karras missed a tough one. And then we were able to capitalize. And so, Ty's jumper to put us up 3. It seemed like it was 4 at first, and then it was 3. And then he had a floater that was a huge play too. And so, he had frustration offensively throughout the game, but in the fourth, he really narrowed his focus and found a way to get the ball in the basket when we needed it. So, it's an important game for us.
After what happened the other night, then your team had the best first quarter it's had all season. What were you proud most about the way in which you were able to get things started tonight?
Well, our pregame discussion and our prep was all about, the kind of game this was going to be, the kind of game that they were going to bring to us and take to us. We saw their game against the Knicks the second night of their back-to-back with New York, and they lose at home by 15 or 14, and then the next night they go to Madison Square Garden and they just stared them down and held the Knicks to 89 points or something. So this is a tough-minded team and very physical. And then they had Garland and Allen back, so they had the majority of their guys, if not all of them, and so makes it even tougher. Even though those guys have been out a while. So the crowd getting into it. Us getting key stops at the right times were key things.
Then I wanted to ask you about, you showed up in the red sweater. Just a nice little subtle tribute for you.
Well, yeah. I mean, a tribute to Coach Knight. Just a show of respect for everything that he's meant, not only to IU and the state of Indiana, but to basketball overall. And so I've heard a lot of stories about people's interactions with him over the years, either on radio or read them in accounts on the internet. And, I wrote a letter to him one time when I was in college. He was going to be the Olympic coach in '84. And I think I wrote him a letter in '83 to try to get his attention to possibly get a shot at the Olympic trials. And he wrote me a personal letter back, which I've kept to this day. And I always thought that was, extremely classy thing to do. He didn't even know me, at the time. And so, and then there was another time when Dick Harder and I went down to watch an IU practice in '99 during the lockout, and we had dinner with him in Bloomington. It was one of the most interesting basketball discussions of my entire life, and it was just so awesome to hear this guy, talk about the game, and learned an awful lot. And I'm a child of the pro game. I played in college, but didn't coach in college. But he was just simply an encyclopedia of knowledge of the game, and so I was always appreciative for that opportunity too.
Coach.
Yes.
Aaron Nesmith tonight came in and really provided a nice defensive spark for you guys, and offensively had some nice buckets. What have you seen from him this year in terms of his growth?
Well, he's getting better all the time. He works really hard in the summer. Our family's down in Charleston area for 2 or 3 weeks a year, and I spend time with him in the gym at either Porter God, where he went to high school, or James Island High School. And, he works at his craft, and his recognition keeps getting better. He's a hard-playing guy. In that period at the end of the third quarter when it was hard to hit a bull in the ass with a bass fiddle, I mean, he got the ball in the hole a couple times, and did it on just guts and grit. And that's our calling card as a team is going to have to be a collective group of grit and guts guys, and he's one of those.
Well, what do you feel like you've done well against those?
Shot the ball better tonight, and that was obviously the biggest thing. Just to try to get my rhythm back, in that mode, and just being aggressive. I think down the stretch, got to have more aggressive recognition, and I've been able to do that lately.
Does it feel different? The court, the crowd, the in-season tournament, did it feel different?
I don't know about you, man. Tonight was insane, bro. I think that the fans really brought it tonight. It was especially in that fourth quarter. They had a little Freddie Mercury thing going. That was dope too. But no, man. That's something I expect from this city. They show up night in and night out, and to have that atmosphere on the first, playing, or in-season tournament, whatever you want to call it. It was good stuff.
Same question to you, Ty, about the atmosphere.
Yeah, the crowd was amazing tonight. I feel like last year as well, anytime we play Cleveland, I think there's more juice to that game, there and here. I feel like it's a good matchup for both of us. I think we both enjoy competing against each other, two up-and-coming teams in this league, young teams, and them being in our division. Those games are usually up, but, man, the crowd brought it tonight, and I feel like that played a big role in it, helped us get back in there after a really bad third quarter and helped us wake up.
You see something different down the stretch that let you get to your spots to close it out?
No. Just made a shot.
Just being himself, man.
Last one for me. Any message to George after you beat him now twice?
Oh, here we go. You know that was a setup, man. You know that was a setup.
Definitely private conversation.
There
but,
it is.
We live together in the summer, so he'll hear about it. No question.
Tyrese, walk us through what you were feeling, because you didn't quite look yourself. Was it the groin with the ankle? Was the floor slippery? What were you seeing and feeling out there?
I was just trash. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just not shooting it well right now. You could probably account to a lot of things, but shots just aren't going in, and just got to stay true to what I do, stay true to my work, trust that, getting here a little extra. They'll start to fall. It's only game 5, and you guys know I'm a perfectionist, so there's part of me that's like ready to hit the panic button. But at the same time, like we're 3-2, we're winning games, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I'm gonna figure it out, and it's a big kudos to my teammates and my coaches and my loved ones, just keeping me in it, keeping me up, and things will start to go my way. It's only a matter of time.
You delivered at the offensive end, and Myles had that block. You always know he's back there, but to see that moment to kind of secure the win, what did you see?
Yeah, it was a big time defensive play. It was like the first game this year where we came down to the stretch and had to get a stop or something to finish the game, and felt like we did a really good job with it. Just keep growing and learning. It's only game 5, so I felt like as a team, our bench, everybody was engaged at that. Everybody was engaged at the end there, talking what we wanted to do, talking through stuff from 1 to 15. It felt like everybody was in there talking to guys, and when everybody's engaged like that, it's really good, and I think it keeps us from making mistakes.
As kind of the leadership of this team, what was your guys' approach and the locker room's approach to this tournament? And do you treat it differently? Is it just game by game? What was the feeling?
I think the biggest thing was this is a division opponent. At the end of the day, this is a team that we've seen, quite a few times. And, coming off of last game, we had to, get our mojo back, if you will. And I think a lot of our stance tonight was on the defensive side of the ball. Every team makes their run, but I don't think it was like looking at the tournament as like, we have to go out here and get this tournament win. It was, another game of 82 and an important one at that early. So with a division opponent like that, you definitely approach those games a little bit differently. But, we were able to grind it out and, get it done.
Myles, you had 7 of the first 10 points tonight. How impactful is it for you to get the ball in the hoop early on, see you go in? Does it just open up some more confidence for you and make you feel like tonight's going to be a night for me? I know you've had some big games like that before, but it feels like when you get those early baskets, it makes you feel like the game's always bigger for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that when I get going early, obviously the confidence is there, but, more than anything, I have to be the defensive, leader on this team. I just have to be. I know my shot's going to fall. Before this night, I wasn't shooting that great. I had a good shooting night tonight, but, getting going early is always nice, but I think my focus in the beginning of the game is more on the defensive side of things, just trying to anchor, what we're trying to get accomplished. But, like you said, it's always nice to get going early and just get a little rhythm and flow going.
Aaron was really big for you guys again in the fourth today, especially on defense. Can you kind of speak to the effort that he brought, the energy he brought, and then just kind of what his energy has brought kind of this whole season so far, and what's impressed you about his energy?
Yeah, man. I'm really happy for him. I'm really proud of him, man. I think that he came in here last year, trying to find a role for himself, and he's grown upon that role this offseason. He's more effective with the ball. He's shooting the ball well. He plays his heart out. It's what the city wants to see, and it's a $33 million man. So I'm happy for my guy, man, for real.
Not the surface, but what was that? What was the floor like to play on? I wondered a little bit of what the colors would be like, just the different design that you guys are used to playing on.
Well, going into it, I think it's fire. Like, I love the color, and feels like I'm in 2K out there. I like it, but it was slick to start the game, and I don't know if that's a league-wide thing with the paint on the floor, or if that was just here tonight, or what the case was. But yeah, early in the game, I think everybody was a little concerned. It just felt like I was sliding everywhere. The one possession, Evan threw it up to Donovan. I took like a step forward, and I went to turn around. There was no turning around. So hopefully it's just a tonight thing. If it's a problem league-wide, the league will figure it out. We play in the best league in the world, so it'll get figured out. It's all new, but I like it. I think doing stuff different is cool. I don't know. I like to play in the court.
Yeah, I thought it was solid, man. It's like different. If you're a young fan watching the game and you see something like that, it's just different than anything we've done here in the past. So I think it's kind of cool for our younger audience, and then just different, for the city as well.
Yeah, either of you guys can answer this, but Buddy came in tonight and just had a huge fourth quarter. Obviously, is in a different role this year than being a starter coming off the bench. What did you guys notice from Buddy in that fourth quarter?
That's your boy, man. What's up?
I don't know. I felt like, with his new role, us, we're not playing as much together. You guys know we have a really good synergy together. So I thought tonight, Coach made some good moves, substitutions, and my minutes are a little different tonight. And I enjoyed playing with him a little bit more, getting him going. But I think it's just him trusting in what he does, his work. That guy works his tail off every night. He has for whatever year this is, 700, 800, whatever year he's in the NBA. But man, I think he's just making shots and playing the right way. And I think down the stretch in the fourth there, we got into some action with me, Myles, and Buddy in that stack action that we really like and we're accustomed to playing with all last year, every play it felt like. So, I feel like we just put him in good spots. He put himself in good spots and really carried us down the stretch there and made some big shots.
Thank you. First half, it seemed like everything was going your way. You really had to grit it out in the second half. What was the key, especially late in the game, to overcoming all that adversity?
Really just stay together, not turn the ball over. We were getting the shots we wanted towards the end. Putting the ball in Todd's hands, we knew he was going to carry us to the win. The Myles played amazing tonight, so happy we took care of business.
There was a key stretch mid-fourth quarter. You guys held them 3 minutes and 20 seconds without a bucket. Take me through the mindset of the team during that stretch.
Really just getting stops. We know they really can't stop us on the other end. We're a great offensive team. So when we guard, we're one of the best in the league. So we bring that every night would be great.
Considering how Wednesday went and this also being an in-season tournament game, does this feel like maybe a little bit bigger of a win than any others?
Yeah, I mean, last game just flushed that down. Boston's a great team, but we'll see them soon. But this one, all our focus is on the Cleveland today. We took care of business.
How do you harness what you were able to do tonight and bring it back with a quick turnaround tonight?
Yeah, just great energy. Get some rest. We know Charlotte plays fast. They have great players over there, so we just got to be ready.
It's Bruce Brown. Back to you, DJ.